What's up guys, how's it going? I hope you're having a lovely quarantine. I am just a little bit bored today, so I thought I'd film a pretty casual video. I'm just gonna curl my hair, which I already burned my arm on. But yeah, I already did my whole quarantine routine for the day. If you missed that video, go check it out. I created a routine of some mindful stuff to stay productive and motivated and purposeful during this quarantine time. So yeah, I did all my quarantine things today, so I was just gonna curl my hair because I have nothing else to do. Oh, it's coming in the burn. That is the worst. Yeah, I just thought I'd film it and maybe chat and maybe answer some questions. I got some questions about my Montana video, what it's really like living in Montana, so I thought maybe I could answer some of those questions for you guys. Yeah, and just hang out. So, I'm gonna curl my hair. I hope your quarantine's going well. Mine is. I feel like I've really done well since I've created my routine. I've stayed busy and happier, so it's really helped me out. Is anybody else's dog annoying them, or is that just me? My dog, like, God bless her, I love her so much, she's my best friend, and I will just be ruined the day she leaves this earth, but she has become so needy since I've been home for quarantine. I don't know what she thinks, like, when's this girl gonna go back to work? But this dog follows me around constantly. The cat too, but more so the dog. Like, she cannot be anywhere that I'm not. She follows my every step. I sit down on the couch, she gets up on the couch. I stand up, she stands up. I go to the bathroom, she like walks up to the door of the bathroom. She follows me everywhere. And it's starting to drive me insane. I kicked her out of the room for this video because she was just panting so loud. And I'm like, no, you don't need to be sitting here in this hot room panting for no reason, just so you can be with me. Anyways, anybody else's animals annoying them, let me know so I don't feel so bad, because I love her, but she's enjoying me being home way too much. It is finally getting nice here in Montana. It is at least 60 right now. It's 62. It's really beautiful. It's sunny. Some clouds, but it's sunny, and it's been a lot warmer. It has been like, it has snowed in April, but the times that it's snowed, it will snow in the morning, and then by the end of the day it's dried up. Like, it warms up to 40 or 50 and all the snow melts, and so it's not even there by the end of the day, so it's not that bad. I kind of was like making my decision of how long I think I can live in Montana based on, you know, this winter and how it was and how I got through it, because I grew up in Pennsylvania. I moved around a lot as I was growing up, but I lived in Pennsylvania for a good 10 years of my life. So I know snow, I know cold weather, and I really didn't like it. I really wanted to get out of that when I was living there, which I think a lot of people can relate to. But then I lived in North Carolina for 7 years. So I got really used to the hot weather again. And it gets really hot. Like, Charlotte, North Carolina is like 95 degrees, sometimes 100 degrees, full humidity. It's really, really hot. So we got really sick of it. So I was kind of excited to move to Montana. Like, we moved here last June, and it was beautiful. Like, the summer here is amazing. It makes everything worth it. I mean, winter's amazing too, but the summer here is like just so beautiful. And I've said this before on my social media, but the cold and the warm in the west versus where I used to live on the east coast states, especially in the south with the humidity, like, it makes such a difference. Like, it can be 45 degrees here and sunny, and you can sit outside in a t-shirt, or maybe like 50, but you can sit outside in a t-shirt and like be okay. It's just, there's no humidity, so there's no extra coldness in the air, I guess. So it just feels a lot warmer. Like, when the sun is on you, it makes such a difference. It like warms your whole body no matter what temperature it is outside. I was just kind of wanting to see when the snow really stopped and when spring really began. I honestly didn't think that spring would begin until like May. because it did snow one day last year in June. It was like June 20th and it snowed on the ground. And like, I think it was gone by the end of that day, but you know, it did snow. So it was just something to be aware of. Like, I didn't know if I could make it through like 8 months of winter. So yeah, I've been really pleased with the weather this year. I know global warming is going to only make it warmer. So so it's snowed, but it also has been just like getting warmer every week. Like it was 55 and now it's like in the 60s. Yesterday it was 68. This Wednesday it's supposed to be like 78, which is incredible. 78 here is like summer, let's go to the pool. Like that's hot, hot, hot. Like I said, it feels warmer than 78. So I'm really excited. That's awesome. And my birthday is this next week. Wait, my birthday's this week. It's so weird. I don't even know what date it is. My birthday is Thursday. Today is Monday. And it's supposed to be like 75 in the 70s on my birthday. So I am so happy about that, and I'm feeling a lot better about living in Montana long term because I can handle it. Honestly, the beauty of this place is so worth it. Like, yeah, it's cold in the winter, and yeah, it's a long winter, but there's so much you can do. Check out my How I Really Feel About Living in Montana video to see everything I have to say about what you can do here. But it's just so beautiful. Like, you don't want to, it's not worth it to compromise for warm weather because just the views I get here and the nature, it's just unbelievable to me. It's like a different world. So honestly, the snow and the cold is worth it. And I know that people won't understand that, but that is how I feel. And the summer is just like a paradise. Amazing. It's just so amazing. It's so beautiful. I mean, the mountains are beautiful in the winter when they're snow covered. They're beautiful in the summer when they're green. And I don't know, it's a winter wonderland in the winter, and it's a magical paradise. Am I sweating? A little bit. And it's a magical paradise in the summer. So like I said before, some people had some questions about living in Montana, so I thought I'd answer those. I missed her, didn't I? How do you always miss the one? Okay, so that was quick. I have like no hair. So somebody asked me, they said, should I go to school before I move out to Montana? Like, what's the school situation out there? Which was a good question, because this was something I had to think about a lot before I moved out here too. I have a college degree. I got my degree at High Point University in North Carolina. In 2016, I graduated college. So I am planning on going to grad school, and I've always thought that I would probably go to grad school, but I just never really knew what exactly I wanted to do. So it was important to me to look at that kind of stuff before moving out here because I knew I would have a lot less options. Obviously, there's just less cities out here and less schools, but there are schools. Right in Bozeman, where I live, is Montana State University, which is an awesome place. I know a lot of people who have graduated from there, and they love it. It's really cool. They have football, which I didn't have at High Point, so I'm excited to maybe check out some football games. A nice big campus, like it's a really pretty campus, walkable, and it's right on the mountains. Like, it's just beautiful. I definitely would have considered going to that school had I known about it, and maybe had I lived in the South first, because I just wanted the warm weather at that point. But if you're thinking about moving here and you're worried about a place to go to school, don't be. I mean, definitely do your research first. I think it's important to research the school, make sure it has the kind of programs that maybe you're looking for or could get into. So yeah, Montana State University. University of Montana is in Missoula, which that's up north a couple hours. That's like closer to Canada. There are branch schools and there's online options and stuff. But there are colleges out here, there's schools around. I think you need to plan for that a little bit and look at what you want and what they have here, and if it's something that'll work for you. I think MSU is a great place, and I do plan on going to grad school there. So yeah, I don't think it's a huge problem to want to move out here but still need to go to school, because you definitely have some options. The other question that I am asked a lot is about the prices of housing and living out here, just life, how expensive it is. Now, it's a confusing question to answer for me because I do think that prices are cheaper out here. I think compared to where I came from, living in North Carolina, Tennessee, Indiana, Pennsylvania, like all over the East in big cities, things are really expensive, and houses, the housing market, obviously things are just more and more expensive. And that's what's happening here too. Things are getting more expensive and more people are moving to this area, and it's kind of booming right now. I do think compared to where I lived before, it is a little bit cheaper. I don't think it's drastic, but it is cheaper than if we were looking for a home in North Carolina where we lived compared to looking for a home here now. We're definitely still struggling to find something within our budget, but I do think it's cheaper. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's still very expensive homes and beautiful, amazing places to live here, but there's also affordable housing here, and I feel like myself and my 26-year-old, he's 26, I'm almost 26, our 26-year-old selves can find a place to live here with our money that we've saved, so it's not undoable. I do think that it's cheaper than where we came from. In terms of just life and living prices, about the same. You go to downtown and you want to eat food, it's gonna be $8 to $10 for some food. Like, that's pretty normal. It's all relative, if you're going to the fancy places or not. But some things are a little bit cheaper in terms of food just because of the quality, like the farm fresh kind of stuff. But I like that. I think that is worth it. So yeah. And nobody has asked me this question yet, but I kind of just wanted to answer it because I just feel a little bit weird about it. But the place that I am living right now, where I am right here, this is not my home. This is my boyfriend's parents' home. They bought this house and they plan on moving out here when they retire. So they are so graciously letting us stay here for the time being while we continue to work and save money and hopefully buy our own home out here. That's what we want to do. So yeah, we are in that process of looking around and trying to be first-time home buyers. So it's kind of scary, but I'll keep you updated with what I learn about the market and everything. What else? I guess I can talk about what's going on here amidst the coronavirus stuff. So Montana, I actually feel like we did a really good job of closing down quickly when this all started. Our governor shut things down almost immediately when the US started hearing all about this, kind of around the same time like New York and everyone did. So right away we were shut down. We were, put on essential businesses only. Yeah, so I think that helped a lot because it got people to stay inside and quarantine right away and be aware right away. We do have an international airport here. You might think like, oh, it's such a small place, how are we really affected? But we do have an international airport. We had some people come in to Bozeman who had coronavirus. So I think, let me see the latest. That in my county where I live, there's 146 cases. So yeah, I mean, it's here, there's 146 cases in this county alone where I live. I think we are lucky because we're more spread out and, naturally just there's not as many people who live here, so we're not spreading it so quickly and all that. So I think it really helped that we shut everything down and got inside and started quarantining right away at the beginning of all this, like right in the middle of March. So now, actually yesterday, we started our phase 1 of reopening. I guess some bars and restaurants are going to start opening. It's based on their own, at their own risk, whatever they want to do, but they can reopen. It'll be limited, everyone's spaced out 6 feet apart, all that stuff. So I definitely am worried about that. I'm worried about what's going to happen when we can go back to bars and the restaurants, and I'm worried about people just acting the same way they used to and infecting people. But, I also know they'll try to uphold the protocols and actually keep us far away from each other. I hope that people don't think that this is going back to normal life, because it's absolutely not. And I'm going to continue to try to stay inside at all costs when it's not necessary for me to go out. They're still doing all the precautions at the grocery stores. I had to wait outside of Costco for a few minutes because it was, one in, one out, whatever, however many people were allowed in. So we've got lines for that kind of stuff, and, most everyone's wearing their masks and taking good precautions, so that is all good. I am hoping to go back to work soon. I've been talking to my job, and they're hoping to be able to rehire me, so I am just praying that I will get my job back because I really loved it. So be praying for me if you want to. So I guess that's just a little update on my life, and curled my hair pretty quickly. Now I don't know what I'm gonna go do. But yeah, I hope you guys are staying safe in your quarantine. Please stay home and stay inside even as restrictions are lifted wherever you are. Thank you again to all those healthcare workers out there. It just pains me to read the statuses and the updates of just what you're going through and what you're seeing and what you're dealing with. I will say, I mentioned this in my quarantine video, but I do think that probably most all of the healthcare workers that are going through this coronavirus situation right now will have some sort of PTSD after this. I mean, trauma is different for every person. What's traumatic to me might not be traumatic to you, but that's what trauma is. It's defined by what is too much emotionally for you to handle. So never be ashamed if you feel something heavier than somebody else. Trauma is trauma to you. It's trauma to you. Also, for everyone, not only healthcare workers, but everyone, this whole situation, we aren't going to be able to process it while we're in it. That's kind of a part of the trauma, is this is all really hard to process while you're in it. You will start processing this once you're out of it, which is kind of the worst part, but I just want to be honest because recognition and awareness of how you're feeling is the most important step and the first step to getting help and to feeling better. So recognizing after this is over the way you're feeling on the inside, and maybe realizing if you can't handle it on your own, and that is totally okay, that is fine. This is an extremely traumatic event, and I think that if I was in the midst of it, I would 100% be traumatized by it, and that's okay. Like, you guys have done amazing work, and you've saved people's lives every single day. You've gone in there to save people's lives, and you've watched people die, and that's traumatizing. So just be aware of how you feel after this passes. Just journal it, write it down, be aware of how you're feeling, and if you need help, seek help, because it can come on heavy after everything has passed. Even after I quit my job as an EMT and more feelings started pouring in that year, I still felt it again when I got out of my trigger zone, which was the area that I lived in, North Carolina, because that's where I worked on the ambulance. So even though I had quit the job for a whole year, once I moved to Montana and got myself out of that trigger zone of hearing those sirens every day and seeing those ambulances every day, that's when even more came back to me, came flooding into my brain, and it was hard all over again, even though I'd been to therapy for a year and a half. So just be aware of that trauma likes to sneak up on you after the doors have closed on the event. So just be aware of that. I think recognition of what you're feeling is first step to getting better. And, it took my boyfriend telling me that I was acting different and depressed for me to even realize. I didn't even realize I was acting differently. So, just talk to people you trust and people you love, and talk to me if you'd like to, because I somewhat know what you've gone through, and I would love to help you, because I felt very, 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 very low during all that, and it was very hard, and that's why I'm on YouTube, is to help people through things like that. So reach out to me. I really, really feel for you, and just know that you matter so much, and everything that you have done during this has meant so much. And thank you from all the families of the people you've helped and just the whole wide world. And we're cheering for you. And I'm sorry that you've had to go through this. But just keep your eyes open for how you're feeling and how you're doing. so that you can stay ahead of it. Alright, I think I'll end this video here. Thanks for casually chatting with me, guys. If you have any more questions about Montana or mental health or PTSD, anything like that, comment down below and I'd love to chat with you. You can follow me on Instagram at Spectacular, and I will be seeing you next time. Stay safe and stay inside.